Um, okay. Unfortunately, I was not able to join the Shloshim in person, but I could not miss the opportunity to share a few thoughts about our Zayda. We heard from so many people throughout the Shiva and over the past month about the incredible things Zayda did for the Klal, about the people and institutions he helped build and support, about his great business achievements, about his teachings and the books and articles he wrote, about Zayda's commitment to Torah teaching and Torah learning. What stands out to me, and I believe I speak on behalf of all Zayda and Grandma's grandchildren, is that while being such a great man who created waves, who started movements, who set up institutions, and effected change in the world around him, wherever he was also the most committed family man. A man who made every effort and spent every spare moment creating and deepening his relationships with his children, his grandchildren, and in the last few years, his great-grandchildren. To us, he was our Zayda who came round to our house after work and danced silly dances to make us laugh. Our Zayda who would ride us on his back around the lounge. Our Zayda who would tell us stories before bed about Michael the Tiger and about the Prince of Tel Aviv. It was our Zayda who took us who we took turns to sit on his lap to cut the challah on Shabbos. Our Zayda who would take us for bike rides around the Heath extension. Our Zayda would collect sticks with us and call them funny names before hiding them in the hollow tree to pick up the next time we went. Our Zayda would come along to trips to Bowman's farm to feed the animals. Our Zayda would sing Hina Matova Manayim and hoot his jaguar to the tune on the way to Brentridge stately home. Our Zayda would lead the whole family on walks around the countryside. Our Zayda would give us a shir on Chumash Rashi every Friday afternoon before shul, complaining that we were more interested in grandma cake and gefilte fish than listening to the shir, and then running out to Harmony Close, still buttoning up his shirt while walking down the road. Our Zayda who would come up and shut off the television every Sunday afternoon and tell us we were wasting our time. Our Zayda who would come to our house and hide the unhealthy snacks. Our Zayda who taught us to greet him enthusiastically. Hi Zayda! Every time we saw him. Our Zayda who would act as a lively conductor during Zmiros on Shabbos. Our Zayda who would take us on holiday to Switzerland and spend our days hiking through the mountains together, greeting everyone we see on the way and searching for wild strawberries. Our Zayda who would take us for walks in the heath and discuss Torah or advise on personal business dilemmas. Our Zayda would sit next to us in Reb Chana and Eitz Chaim for davening on Shabbos. Our Zayda would lung laugh with grandma in Switzerland in the winter during the day and then give us all a shir every evening before dinner. Our Zayda would find the shortcuts on walks just so we could spend a little more time together when we went out. Our Zayda who made us laugh with his incredible sense of humor. Our Zayda who was never able to get to the end of the joke about the tailor because he'd be crying from laughter. Our Zayda would get the front row on EasyJet because of his arthritic ear. Our Zayda who regularly learned with us whatever we were learning in school. Our Zayda who had a milkman who was a great Talmud Chacham. Our Zayda who would take us to Meir Sharim for Simchat Torah and dance with him at Ger, Karlin, and Meir. Our Zayda who regularly visited us in yeshiva to learn v'chavrisa with us and give sharim to other Talmidim there too. Our Zayda who would talk to us on the phone every Friday to catch up, hear about what we were learning, and give us a Dvar Torah to say over Shabbos. Our Zayda was deeply proud of us when we joined the army to protect Eretz Yisrael. Our Zayda who deeply cared about our dating lives and gave us advice on what is important in a partner. Our Zayda who danced energetically at our weddings. Our Zayda who made an effort to have a personal relationship with each of our spouses. Our Zayda who mentored us on how to behave in business, who we spent hours talking through business predicaments and coming up with solutions and decisions together. Our Zayda would continue our chaversut on Zoom when we were no longer living near each other, but spent most of the time schmoozing and then ending by saying that if there was one opportunity a week to see each other, it is more important to catch up and talk than to learn and not know what's happening in each other's lives or what's on our minds. Our Zayda, who started this whole cycle again with the next generation, showering them with love, playing with our children, telling them the story of the Prince of Tel Aviv, discussing Parsha with them, doing the finger clicking trick or the nose trick, and watching their faces shine with delight. Our Zaida, who took us with Grandma to the Dan Akadia when he was 93 years old, and came down each day to the pool for 30 minutes to watch the kids swim. Our Zaida took us out for steak and beer in the marina with Grandma at 10 p.m. so we could spend some time alone together without the children. Our Zaida, when he had no more strength to talk, would still give us his signature big smile, a thumbs up, and a playful petch across the face. Our Zaida, who showed us what it meant to love. Our Zaida, who until the last minute shone when Grandma entered the room. Our Zaida, who took every opportunity in private and in public to sing Grandma's praises. These are just snippets from thousands of memories each of us grandchildren have of our Zaida. Our Zaida, the Talmud Chacham, the London, the philosopher, the philanthropist, the businessman, but most importantly to us, his grandchildren, he was our Zaida, the loving and caring grandfather who was so much part of each of our lives. Zaida, not an hour passes that we do not think about you, about what a huge loss it is to all of us not to have you here with us anymore. You are such a central part of all of our lives. We find comfort in the love and care and attention that you showed for each of us throughout every year of our lives. Each of us felt that deep connection with you, and that is something we'll carry on with us in our hearts forever. You, together with Grandma, created such a strong sense of family amongst us that spans 4 generations, and thankfully, this has been the most tangible source of comfort over the past month. When we are together, we do not feel despair. I pray that in your honor, Zaida, this intense feeling of family love is a legacy that will live on in us for many generations. Thank you.
Est-ce que